Hey guys, welcome to the HVAC Diaries. This episode of the HVAC Diaries is made possible by New Calgon. How are you guys this week? Did you have a good one? I am going to keep it real with you guys, and I'm going to let you know that I have been struggling. I have been struggling so much with my self-imposed schedule of editing and posting these vlogs on a weekly basis. Probably because at some point these vlogs have turned into this like really high production value video content that I'm creating, and it's driving me crazy. As much as I want to produce these videos this way, I just do not have the time for it. I work a lot. I have a very busy personal life, especially in summertime. I live in a really beautiful outdoor adventure place in the world, and I like to take advantage of every hour on summery weekends. And so that leaves very little time to edit my vlogs, and my mental health is definitely taking a toll. So, having said all of that, I still really want to produce vlogs on a weekly basis, so I'm going to continue, but I'm just going to change things a little bit. I'm still going to run through what we did during a week, but I'm only going to explain one or maybe two interesting jobs from that week instead of explaining everything that we did. And I think it might take me a little bit of time to figure out what's interesting of a job versus what's easy to take videos of. But for now, if you are ready for some HVAC adventures, I have some for you. So the first job of the week was at a really fancy pizza place in downtown Vancouver. They had a beverage cooler that stopped working. Actually, it was a little bit of a bad coincidence because they called us out and they were like, hey, our beverage cooler is just not getting down to temperature. Can you take a look at it? So we took a look at it, and their condenser coil was really plugged up. So Trevor and my dad cleaned that off, watched the machine kind of do its thing, and the temperature came down pretty quickly and held. Perfect. But then like 2 days later, they called us back and they're like, whatever you did, it's not working anymore. Please come and take a look. So when we arrived, the thing was completely dead. So I was like, what's going on here? Turns out a little mousey got into the condenser, got caught in the condenser fan, so it stopped running. So the whole thing overheated, the compressor overheated, and it actually, the little thermal overload inside is open circuit. So we replaced all of the electrical starting components with a 3-in-1 hot start by Subco and got it running, and that's all we had to do there.
I know I said I wasn't going to explain everything, but I just can't help myself. So we found this cooler, this beverage cooler, at 30 degrees Celsius. Really hot.
Now we can get a good look at this thing. This thing is filthy.
Oh, is that the mouse?
That looks like a tail of a mouse. Is there more?
I think so.
You can smell the mouse poo down here though. The droppings.
I really could have been a little bit more discreet about that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can. Yeah, that's not safe at all. What the heck is happening here?
Yeah, it's open circuit. So this Clixon's buggered. So you need a new overload start relay for that, then just change everything.
Reamps.
And just as we were leaving there, the guy's like, do you guys have time to stop for lunch? Because we'd love to give you a pizza. Yum! Yes, we can make time.
Really value these stuff.
Oh my goodness.
And so I'm like,
Yum! That electrical outlet, oh my goodness, it's so crazy. So we unplugged the unit, and then we didn't really think much of it because we just kind of grabbed the plug and pulled it, and then we did our job. And then when we went to put the plug back in, we're like, what is happening here? And the guy walking by, he's like, oh yeah, you know, we keep slamming the cooler into the electrical socket, so it just keeps breaking and gets pushed into the wall. It's totally fine though. It still works. We can still use it. We're like, we're not touching that thing. So we tested that unit with an extension cord plugged into a different socket, like on the other side of the kitchen. But yeah, we were like, you need to get that looked at because that is dangerous. And the guy's just like, no, it's fine. No, it's not fine. We also took a look at an ice machine. At a pub, actually the pub that I do the filter change at every month. Their ice machine stopped working. When we arrived, it was dead completely. There was nothing on the display. It wasn't responding to anything. So when we opened it up, the control board on the inside had all the lights flashing, just all on. Control boards don't make that sound, but when we opened it, all the lights were bah! So after a bit of troubleshooting, we did find that the control board was faulty. And we did actually confirm with tech support, which is something we very rarely do. I think in the 5 years that I've been doing this, we've called tech support like 5 times. But anyway, so the replacement control board is very expensive, like $1,500. So we just wanted to confirm with tech support that we had the right part. So we went back the next day to replace that control board, and we just had to program it to the unit.
Okay, I don't know.
Ta-da!
Random question, but there's so.
Gun, gun, gun. Okay, so now we're gonna go with this
No relay or little relay.
Okay, well, let's do it.
So.
Everything fired up beautifully, but then unfortunately we found 2 more faulty parts in the ice machine. One of them was the water inlet valve in the back is just leaking. So every time it let water in or pulled water in, it would just spray a little bit onto all of the components. Just The other faulty part was the iced harvest assist. Some ice machines have a little screw that during the harvest it will screw out, and it just pushes the whole plate of ice until it falls into the bin. But this one has a tiny little air compressor in the back to just give it a little bit of air. Well, this is a very animated vlog. Anyway, that is not producing air. So what happens, so it goes through its whole freezing process, then it goes through its harvest, but instead of dropping the ice into the bin, it just gets caught up there, and then it throws out a full bin alarm. Full bin full alarm. No. Bin full. Can we help it? Didn't push the whole way. Damn it, we don't want to.
We're gonna have to watch another.
Yeah, we have to wait another one because we don't want that to get stuck again. Alright, you're gonna drop this time.
We were watching these harvests before we found out that the air harvest assist was busted. So this is before we figured that out.
Yeah, it's not gonna do it.
and then it stops working. The machine automatically restarts after 3 minutes. So by that time, usually the sheet of ice has dropped by gravity, and then the machine restarts itself. Anyway, this machine has had a lot of money sunk into it recently. I did spend one day solo this week doing HVAC maintenance at the metal foundry. It's the only metal foundry that we work at regularly. I spent the entire day there. I've got 2 train units to look after, 3 Fujitsu mini splits in their like metal testing lab. There's 5 carrier rooftop units that I take care of. And there's 2 air dryers that I look at. I don't actually do anything with them. I just take a look at them and write down the hours to service and just do like a visual inspection on them. All right, guys, so got all of my filters. This roof has 5 carrier units on it. There's these 4 right here, and then there's one across the way. There it is. I got a little walkway to go over. Pretty cool. So someone gave me trouble the other day for buying 2 V-belts at a time and leaving one as a spare. They're just like, leave the old one as a spare and save the money. But at the end of the day, it's like a $17, sometimes it's even $13 for a V-belt. And I'd rather just have a spare when I need it, because when I come and do a PM and I find a V-belt that looks like this, like, I'm not gonna leave that as a spare. It's got these massive cracks everywhere. No. I'd rather spend the extra $17 and be good for my next PM. Here's a little tech tip for you. Whenever you come up to a number plate that is like whited out, here is a trick. Take a Sharpie, color over the model and serial number or whichever piece of information that you want, and then wipe that away like this. Okay, now wipe it away. And now you can see the numbers. You can read those, right? And every time I do a service at that location, I'm filthy every single time. You guys, this is how I always look after working at the metal foundry. Cool. We were called to our office building that we do a lot of work for on all of those water source heat pump units. This office in particular was getting too cold, even though their thermostat is set to 24 degrees, which is really high for an office. So their thermostat was set to 24, but it was sensing 21, but still cooling. It should be heating up to 24, but anyway, still cooling. So the lady in there, she's like wearing a sweater. She's like, oh, it's so cold all the time. So after a bit of investigation, we decided to replace the thermostat.
Might go next door.
Right.
We visited a second pizza place this week as well. This one had a walk-in cooler that was down. I just stopped working overnight at some point on a very, very warm Friday afternoon. We were heading into a hot weekend. He called us in a panic like, my cooler's down. So we went up there onto the roof, and luckily for us, or rather, luckily for him, we just found the relay in the condenser like fried, burnt. So we replaced that relay, cleaned his condenser coil because that was also really filthy, and got him going.
Well, that is all bent and buggered.
Yeah.
Easy. Alright, we do have another problem here.
And now for the big job of the vlog. Today I'm going to explain the replacement of the condensing unit at the little bakery place. So it's a bakery inside of a mall. So basically the mall provides all of their tenants with air conditioning, with AC. But because they have all of these ovens in this little bakery, they have to have a supplemental AC to help them combat the hot air coming from the ovens. And unfortunately, their old condenser had a refrigerant leak. We repaired the leak, but unfortunately, it's just continuing to leak. It's not something that we seem to be able to fix on that old condenser. So we replaced it with a new one, and it was quite a job.
Look at all this equipment going out. This one is ours. We're headed into the mall. So first we need to get rid of this fence because our unit is not going to fit through this door. Dad's working on it already.
Maybe just that one.
I've seen these lock nut wrenches on Instagram and randomly just found one at Home Depot the other day. I wasn't even looking for it, so I grabbed it. And look how easy it is. Oh my goodness. So much better than trying to hammer it away with a flathead and some kind of a hammer. So our old unit is a 3-phase unit. You can see right there. And unfortunately, our new unit is not. So we're gonna have to take this guy back and get the proper unit, but unfortunately, like, it's starting to rain already. So we were hoping to get a bit more done before the rain came in, but that sucks. So for now, we're just gonna pack up, leave things as they are, put the fence back, and try again another time. Our supplier was really gracious about it, and they took this unit back. Yeah. And we're already back. A couple days later to grab our new unit, which is a lot larger than the other one. Oh my goodness. All right, this guy's a lot larger than the single phase guy. And we're now on our way back to the mall, the same mall, obviously.
Okay.
All right, we're here for round 2. Gonna start by getting this fence off, and then we'll get our new unit. Yeah. I'm just checking it. We're gonna be totally fine here. Reach right where we need to go. We're also going to install a fan speed controller because this unit is going to run year-round. I think I left Trevor alone for like 5 seconds and he did all the brazing. And just like that cooling-only unit at the salmon hatchery, I'm adding a transformer into this condensing unit too. And while the system is on vacuum, I'm going to use this time to get the electrical stuff done. Love this tool. Love it. Transformer, run transformer out to these two. Now getting that fan speed controller in, it just gets installed onto the high side. We used a T-piece so that we still have an access port. I got to use my new fancy field piece valve core removal tool. I really like this thing. I love the side gloss on it. It's really great.
So we just put power onto this thing and ran it for a couple of seconds. I need to change the phases. We're just running backwards. So I'm just gonna swap any two of these. Just gonna swap them around and we'll be good. All right. Alrighty, we are all donesies here.
Okay.
We got goodies. Yum. Yum, yum, yum. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one HVAC adventure. I'm sorry, like I really feel like I want to do more. But we'll see how this one goes. We'll see how the next few goes. Maybe in fall or winter I can go back to my like big high production value videos. Says me. Maybe it's just because last week's vlog was over 30 minutes and I think that was a little bit excessive. But I don't know, sometimes I just get so excited and I just want to share everything with you guys. So you get what you get. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the HVAC Diaries HVAC vlog. I am happy to be here, even though I was really stressed out last week. I'm so happy to be here. And I look forward to bringing more adventures to you guys next week. Bye! But for now, if you are ready for some so the first job of the week was turns out the whole ice. So it goes. We visited that office building that we work on the set point, and it's still cooling. It's still like, nope, we need to cool. So after a bit of investigation, we figured that we're just gonna. So after as we needed it. I hate that. And the new one worked so much better. We were definitely... Okay. We're not touching that thing. Like down the...
I don't want any video of me eating.
Alright, so here's this panel, but it doesn't come off. Oh, it does. One day I'm gonna punch you right in the face. It's just gonna be a reaction.
You better hope I just don't retaliate the same way.
We're gonna fight.
Throwing a worm out of a wound.